Ranked can feel like a coin flip. You sometimes feel like winning and losing is just random. We want to rank up from our current rank into Immortal, so what can we do? Well, we can start by winning every 1 versus 1 clutch situation that we find ourselves in. In this video, we will go over how to win these clutch situations both as an attacker and a defender. So, if you find yourself in a 1 versus 1 clutch situation as an attacker, here's what you need to do. First, you need to slow it down. We aren't faced with the threat of losing until the defender taps the spike, or if we decide to take a fight with the defender too early. The sooner we reveal ourselves, the less likely chances we have to secure the win for that round unless we manage to sneak behind the enemy like a sneaky cat. We have 45 seconds before the spike explodes, so let's really push to buy ourselves time here. We will only win the round if we can stay alive for the next 45 seconds, so it's always better to round down the time rather than commit to early fights. Secondly, you need to understand that info is key in any clutch situation. So as an attacker, we want to give the enemy the least amount of free information as possible while taking all the free information from the defender as possible. Every action gives information such as footsteps, utility usage, shooting, and reloading. So listen up and find out where the enemy can be at any given moment by listening to these sound cues. We want to use this information to determine if we are safe or not. This will also prevent us from giving away our location too early. If we know the general area as to where the defender is as they are searching for us, we can play ring around the rosy with the defender, forcing them to give up on searching for us and go for the spike tap. When the time is right and you need to gather some info for yourself, you can jiggle or jump peek. When you jiggle and you notice the defender sticking the bomb, dead zone the angle while shooting a few bullets to get the defender off of the spike. But consider this, before or once the spike has been tapped, make sure to consider the agent matchups. If we are playing against a recon agent, they may reveal a location with utility. If we are playing against a flash agent, they may flash us before tapping so we don't hear the tap. If we are playing against a smoke agent, they may smoke us off from being able to have visual onto the spike. But the same goes for us as attackers. We still want to wait for the tap, then if we are a recon agent, we can recon the spike to see if the defender is faking the defuse or not. If they fake it, stall for some more time. If they are sticking it, we may want to dead zone the angle to apply proper pressure to get them off the spike. Still, we do not want to fully commit to the fight. There is a high chance that we will die if we do. If we are a flash agent, then this rule is different. You will want to flash the enemy based off the tap sound, then peek, committing yourself to the kill since the defender will be flashed. Now, if you are a smoke agent, then you could possibly consider doing a one-way depending on where the spike is planted. If it's planted near an elevated surface, this type of strategy can be very useful, but if not, then you may want to rely on jiggling. But be weird. Try some stuff out to see what works. You may be able to do some weird smoke and swing out from either the right or left side, throwing off the defender. After taking all of these attacker tips in consideration, the last thing you must understand is how to position yourself to make all of this happen. As we said before, you do not want to start off too aggressively, since the sooner we come face to face with the enemy, the higher our chances of losing the round are. But you also don't want to start so far back to where the defender can get on the spike and get it halfway without you having visual onto the spike. Always be within 15 meters from the spike or close to an angle that will give you an immediate line of sight onto the spike. So we do not want to be in the position where we have to fully be sprinting over to the bomb if we hear the tap. We wouldn't be in control at this point. No matter what agent you are, you don't want to position yourself too far from the spike, even if you're playing for lineups. The best lineups for 1 versus 1s are the lineups that you can throw while still being able to contest the enemy with your weapon. So a lineup like this is terrible for a 1 versus 1, but a lineup like this is excellent since we can still apply pressure with our weapon, which can just buy us more time to let the spike explode as an attacker. Now let's switch sides here. So if you find yourself in a 1 versus 1 clutch situation as a defender, here's what you need to do. Similar to if we were an attacker, we want to slow down and think about what we are trying to do. Since we have to defuse the spike, we do not have 45 seconds to kill. We only have a total of 38 seconds on the clock since we need 7 seconds to defuse the spike. With this being said, almost always you want to walk up to the spike and get it halfway. 9 times out of 10, attackers will not commit to a fight off first tap. So we can use this intuition to reduce the 7-second defuse time down to 3.5 seconds. With this, my friends, we have more time to work with. Unless we already know where the attacker is positioned through the luck of timing, we need to threaten the attacker to reveal themselves. Instead of just tapping the spike, first try getting it to the halfway mark. Have your crosser ready at head height where you think the attacker could swing you, so if the attacker commits to the swing off the first tap, you can punish him for being reckless. But the name of the game is to get it halved, since not many people will expect this from the first tap. Once we get the bomb halved, do not give the attackers any information. Do not loud walk, reload, shoot, or give any sound cues if they did not peek. Similar to how we mentioned as an attacker, consider the utility that you're fighting against and the utility that you have available. If you are playing against a flash agent, tap the spike and get ready to dodge that flash. After dodging the flash, you need to immediately spray towards the direction the flash came from to anticipate the attacker and swinging you. If you are playing against a smoke agent, get that bomb halfway as quickly as possible since they can smoke one way on you. If you are playing against a recon agent, get the bomb halved, but again, be ready for them to swing as soon as you get scanned. Either way, tap the bomb and get them out of their corner. Then we can use our utility to kill them or go for a quick defuse. Being on the defender's side of these situations can be tough. It's not like we can reposition ourselves in a completely different angle as easily as the attackers can. For us defenders, we reposition on a micro level. Again, highlighting what we said before, knowing where the attacker is super important. This way we can bait them into peeking us. So, for example, if we tap or get the bomb halfway, before taking the fight onto the peeking attacker, let's micro reposition to the side closest to the angle that the attackers are swinging from. We want to do this since if we are playing bind and the attacker is short and we decide to go left here, the attackers will first see the spike and will see that we are off. Therefore, they will go back right into cover. But if we inch over to the right side of the spike, then they will have to face us instead of being allowed to make the safe play. We force them to commit to the fight. Just make sure you win it. Also, consider this. When the attacker peeks you, their teammates are pinging the spike. So their crosshair will be pre-aimed at the pings and not necessarily on you. So just be confident and win your gunfights. Now, if you find yourself having trouble winning these fights, I would recommend that you watch our Control Your Recoil like an Immortal video next. Since we ideally want to commit to the kill, we need to be able to accurately spray at head level. So, I'll see you there.